Hey, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're going to do an interior walkthrough in a 2022 Nissan Frontier.
This episode brought to you by coffee.
So this is the all-new Frontier, completely changed. It's been a long time since the Frontier has had serious updates. Really well done. So just to kind of synopsize, because this is mostly going to be about the interior, but but just to kind of synopsize everything, the frame is largely the same as it was in the previous generation, but there have been a lot of changes to some of those chassis components. The bodywork is completely different. Engine and transmission debuted last year and is still in this one, so it's still the beautiful little V6 and 9-speed automatic transmission. So nicely done. Really nicely done. And of course, my favorite thing is that it's still a Frontier. It still feels like that little truck is supposed to feel. This little truck is rough and tumble, fun, feels like you're supposed to beat it up. It didn't lose any of that, so that's awesome. Now let's look at the interior, because there are more than a few changes. To be specific for this one, so that you know, this is the Frontier Pro 4X package. Has a couple of add-ons, and it is a prototype, so there's a possibility that a couple of details could change on production. Now, now that all the legal asterisks or whatever disclaimers are out of the way, let's have a look and see what's going on. We'll start in the usual spot over here at the door. So switchgear here here's your mirrors up there, and then so you adjust your side mirrors. Here is the window locks, here's the door locks, and the windows themselves. This is the crew cab, so it is the four-door version. Automatic window only on this one. Otherwise, these are manual. You have to hold them down and hold them up. Door handle here, and then you can see that they've really gone into an upgrade. This is a smooth, kind of spongy stuff, and then this is hard plastic. So a little bit of a change here. It's not all just hard plastics anymore. Now, coming over here, you can see the first of the vents. These are actually really good vents. They're nicely sized for the cab. So they're tall instead of wide, which blows a volume of air in a taller cone, which is nice. And then you see the defrost up there. Down here, so you got tow mode right here. It's no longer on the shifter. So tow mode is, just moves the truck into towing. This particular one does not have a tow kit, so I did not get to tow with it. Over here is your dimmers for the instrument cluster and your trip button right there. Down here you got the radars. So just FYI, push this button when you go into the automated car wash, so it doesn't make a whole lot of noise at you the whole time. This over here is turning off the 120 volt outlets. There's two of them. There's one in the back seat on the back of the console, and there's one in the bed of the truck itself. Now, coming down here, you got a cargo lamp that physically turns on the cargo lamp. If you need it on by itself, it usually comes on and stays on for a couple of minutes when you open any of the doors. Here's your hill descent control. Down here, you just see it, there's your traction control, and there is your rear differential lock. And then down by my foot, there's the push brake. Over here is the hood release. So lots of buttons going on the left side of this steering wheel, but most of them are ones that you will use only rarely. Now, coming up, let's just look at that steering wheel I mentioned. Over on the left, you have mostly infotainment controls. So this chooses the source of your input. This changes channels and or tracks depending on what you're doing, streaming versus radio. Down here, this actually goes through the driver information menus up there. So this goes back and forth on those. This is volume control. Here's your voice control, which is pretty okay in this. This is the newest of Nissan's infotainment systems, and it's pretty okay. It's not the best, but it's not horrible either. And then down here is phone controls. As an FYI, if you need to Bluetooth your phone, you can always just hit that and it'll say, hey, there's no phone connected, do you want to connect one? Boom. All right, over here you got mostly cruise control stuff. So you can see the cancel button is big and prominent on top. Here's the push this up for accelerate or resume, pull it down to slow down or set the speed. This turns it on and off. This is your distance control for the adaptive cruise. I don't know that adaptive cruise is standard in this, but a lot of safety equipment is. So if it's not standard in the base model, it becomes standard really, really quickly in the model lineup. So pretty cool there. Now, looking behind here, you can see a dongle. This is all pretty much washer wiper stuff. So up and down for the front. This part for the speed. So you can see you can if I can get it to move, there we go. I was trying to move the wrong part. This is how aggressive it is, basically, and then you pull it to squirt. Over here, you have all lighting. So up and down for your signal turns. They're in that order for a reason. Signal turns, you signal, and then you turn. Try to get that through your heads. And then you can see the lighting here. I had it on auto, now it's off auto, and then you can force it on, and then you can drop the beams so they're not so bright. And then you can see this turns on fog lamps, and then back and forth for brights. So you pull it for temporary, you push it to turn them on. Now, instrument cluster. Instrument cluster. Okay, it's kind of fun to say, right? Instrument cluster. All right, kind of a like Jim Carrey moment there, except I don't have the stretchy, expressive face he does. Okay. Anyway, over here on the left, this is Pro 4X package. That's why you're seeing more of the red and stuff. And you see how reflective it is down there. That reflection is about as tall as it gets. It might impede slightly into this territory on reflection, but not much higher than that. So, tachometer over here, speedometer over there, Canuck miles per hour in the middle, fuel down there, engine heat over there. I put a lot of miles on this. That's why the fuel's so low. I did a lot of driving and a lot of off-roading in this vehicle. So up here you got some indicators. You can see blind spot monitoring, some other stuff is on. This will show you the speed limit. As far as I can tell, it's coming off of GPS. It doesn't seem to change dynamically in construction zones, so I assume it's mostly GPS. Over here is the outside temperature. Right now it's going to be really blazing hot today, so I'm doing this early in the morning. Over here is your whatever driver information stuff you want. I have it showing a digital speedometer. You can flip through. I'll just push the button and show you. Here's some neat off-road metrics. Here's some extra gauges if you want to see what like your battery looks like and your differential and so on. Here's some more of those, and here is trip information. So you can see I put a fair number of miles on this thing. Fuel economy. So this is rated pretty well, and I was able to get the EPA rating for this on the highway, but you will not average that ever. You're going to be more in this range for your driving, especially if you do any kind of off-road. So, and then there you go. Compass and whatever's. There's some stuff. Here's some more stuff. There's a lot of stuff in here. So useful little menus. They were a big upgrade from what was in there before in the older model. Now, down here you can see there's your gearing. I'll show you the shifter. You do have control over the gears if you want it, but it's all through that shifter handle. And then this is your indicator as to what's the word I'm looking for? It's the indicator as to what your transfer case is doing. That's the word I'm looking for. So if I switch it over really quick into four-wheel drive, you can see the front wheels will light up. And if I go into four-low or anything, all that same stuff will happen. So there you go. That's pretty much it there. All your emergency lights are mostly nestled right up there. So that's the instrument cluster. Coming down here, the push button start is way over there. Here's the control I was using to shift to four-wheel drive. So you just turn it, it's on the fly. Pretty cool. You can shift to 4 high at most any speed. So I didn't do it anywhere above about 30 miles an hour, but it didn't feel like it had any indication that it wouldn't allow you to do that. And that would make sense because you could do that in previous versions of this truck. Another vent there. Here's the infotainment screen. It's pretty large. Nice and clear. It's not so clear here. There's a lot of reflection, but when you're actually using it from my perspective over here, there isn't. I mean, now it still looks like there's a lot of reflection, so it's making me look like I lie. But really, this is very clear to the eyeball. How's that? Nice big icons, easy to hit and touch and do stuff with. Hard buttons down here don't change. And then you have your hard audio control here and here. So this is volume. You push it to mute it like it is now. This is how you scroll through songs or whatever else, or channels. And then you can do some hard menus here. These are what don't change. These might change, but they usually don't. And then down here you see you have some more. These are mostly self-explanatory. Here you got some Dukes lights. Over here is an airbag indicator, so it tells you whether or not that passenger seat has the airbag on. Down here's climate controls. I have everything turned off so it doesn't blow into the camera. But over here you've got the front defrost. Here you've got the side mirror defrost and back window. It doesn't really show the back window, but that's what that does as well. Actually, no, it doesn't. I'm lying. There is no back window defrost. So it's only on the side windows, which is a little odd, but I think you can get away with it because the side mirrors are probably more useful anyway. You push this for auto, and then you can set. So if I turn it on, you can see it's preset, and it will do it. You can do dual zone, whatever. This turns it back off, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory, I think. Down here, you got some bun warmers. Over here, you got a steering wheel heater. This is also parking radar. You can turn this on and off in the car wash, and it mostly won't go off, but it's not always a guarantee. Over here, you got the USB-C, USB-A, and the bun warmers for the passenger side. Now, looking back here, you got a nice little storage cubby with a rubberized bottom that you can throw something into. Neat place. It's not where I've been putting my phone, but it's a good place to put, miscellaneous things or the passenger's phone. You can see the little oh no grab bar. I'm trying to be family friendly here. Here you have the shifter, so you can shift through the gears like you normally would. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Nope, wrong angles. Anyway, you can shift through the gears like you would expect. If you're in drive, you can shove it over, and now you can push down to downshift, push up to upshift. So pretty cool there. Drink holders. They're not adjustable, but they are great. They hold a lot of big stuff. They're rubber on the bottom. Nice drink holders there. Here is your wireless phone charger. This will light up if there's a phone charging on this, or if you put something metal on here that shouldn't be there and it's conducting. So there you go. That's where I've been putting my phone. Then you have this storage cubby. Storage. It's nice and deep. It goes down pretty far. And then you have there you go, 12-volt plug right there. And yeah, it's a nice, deep, but kind of skinny and small storage cubby. Has these cool little pen clips on there and whatnots. Nice armrest too. And then I forgot to point out there is also another one right there, another 12-volt plug. Then over here, the dash. So you see that, how square and blocky it is. I love that they kept that. I'm glad that they didn't go to something smooth like a crossover would have, that they kept it, blocky and tough looking. And then you have your glove box down here. This is nice. It's softer material, similar to what's on the doors, but not quite as giving. So nice and soft, and then hard plastic here. There's a storage thing up here with a rubber in it. You can see that will slide out if you pull it out. And then seating. So seating in here is pretty basic, but really good. Nice bolstering going on. Feels good on the butt. This is nice seating over there, and just the seats in the front are really good. Now in the back seats are a little bit cramped, but not terrible. 3 kids across is easy. Two adults back there is okay, as long as they aren't too tall and or the people in front of them aren't too tall. And then you can see a split glass, but the glass is manual. So really nicely done. I really enjoyed having this truck this week. It's great off-road like it should be, and it's just a well done little truck. I did a full review of this. I'll try to link to that down in the description, so you can see the full like walk around and all of that stuff. So there you go. That's what I got. This has been Aaron in the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.